Peace Collective. What is going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is Milan. I am an intuitive tarot reader. If you guys are new here to this channel, welcome. If you guys are returning, welcome back. It means the world to me each and every single time you guys join. Thank you, thank you, thank you times 1,000 for being here and for deciding to spend your time and your energy here with me in these readings. As you guys know, this is going to be another general collective reading. However, we are going to get into another deep dive today. Today, we're going to look into the energy between Nicki Minaj and Beyonce. If you guys are interested in readings that have to do with celebrities, music, pop culture, entertainment, I have an entire playlist already curated with readings that are more of that speed. It's called the Deep Dive series. So make sure you guys check out that playlist if these type of readings are more of your speed, okay? If you guys are interested in personal readings, I do offer them. All the information is going to be in the description box down below, like always, okay? But yeah, let's get right into this. So I didn't really have too much of like an intuitive hunch or a particular energy that I was getting between these two. I don't think they're the best of friends, okay? But I also don't think they really necessarily have a real problem with one another. Now, when it comes to Beyonce's husband, okay, Jay-Z, Rock Nation, all of them over there, I already did a reading between Nicki and Jay-Z and the entity that is Rock Nation. And it really wasn't the best energy at all. But at the end of the day, I don't think Beyonce necessarily really has much say so when it comes to what Jay-Z does with his business, obviously, and his sentiments regarding Nicki. And they are two different people. So I don't really think these two necessarily have an issue with each other, but I also don't think that they are like the closest, best of friends, if you will, okay? And please, guys, if you want, please feel free to get in the comments. I love interacting with you guys. If you have any other suggestions for future deep dives, please feel free to let me know. If there's something you want to add to this dynamic between Nicki and Beyonce that you know, please feel free to let me know. But all I ask is that you keep it respectful when you get into the comments, you guys, if you can help it, okay? We don't know these people personally. It's not a personal reading. So please, just keep it respectful in the comments if you can help it, all right? But we're going to start with a couple of oracle cards first. So I have a card out for Nicki, the Queen of Wands, being that Nicki is a Sagittarius. Then I have a Queen of Pentacles here, which is going to represent Beyonce, being that she is a Virgo. Okay, so we're going to start with a few oracle cards, and then we'll dive into the tarot a little bit later to clarify, guys, okay? We're going to start with Nicki's portion first. And just so you guys are understanding of how I'm reading cards, when I pull cards, in this case on Nicki, this is her perspective, her point of view, what she sees, what she hears when it comes to Beyonce. And it'll be the same thing vice versa, okay? So let's get started. Spirit, please give us some clear and concise messages. How is Nicki viewing or feeling in regards to Beyonce at this time? Thank you. How is Nicki viewing or feeling about Beyonce at this time? Thank you. Okay, this first card out I'm seeing, it says seduction. Okay, I don't know why I'm hearing that song. My Snoop Dogg, Sensual Seduction. That's I don't know why I'm hearing that, but I am. If you guys know that song, you know that song. But it says attraction. Okay, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, and third-party interference. Okay, the first thing that stood out to me immediately was the third-party interference. The only third-party interference that would be a common denominator between these two ladies would be who? Probably Jay-Z and Rock Nation, right? I don't think these two necessarily have any other connection besides that they've done, a song or two together. And again, Jay-Z, being the common denominator between these two. Same thing with the reading I did with Rihanna and Beyonce. The common denominator between the two of those ladies is, again, Jay-Z, Rock Nation, okay? But yeah, she could view Beyonce as someone who is dealing with, in this case, who she's married to, okay? She could be viewing him attached to her as a third party interference, maybe an interference between their relationship or them being closer than they actually are, okay? It's like Nicki could be viewing this situation as Beyonce doesn't want to get too close or show much to allegiance. And that's the thing, like Beyonce, she never really, you know, stands up for something or speaks up again, about things or against things, whether that be music issues, political issues. She never really like speaks up in defense of something going wrong, doesn't look right. She doesn't even promote, the artists that are under her either. So I think this is Nicki's way of acknowledging that Beyonce doesn't really go out of her way to stand up or speak up for what's right or wrong. Okay. Then you have a card here that says addiction. Okay, it says codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, and restraint. Very interesting. So again, guys, just to reiterate, when I'm pulling cards, this is how Nicki is viewing Beyonce at this time, okay? She could be viewing her as somebody who may be a little codependent on the relationship with, again, the common denominator here, Jay-Z, okay? Very controlling, very possessive here. And it's interesting because I was getting the same energy kind of when I did the Rihanna and Beyonce reading. Beyonce can be a very much so of a perfectionist, control freak. If things don't go her way or the way that she prefers, it's not a good day in the Beyonce camp. Okay, and I feel like Nicki is aware of that, or she's witnessed it. She may have seen it. Okay, and then this has a block in restraint. It's not giving me so much Beyonce is the block of the restraint. It seems more so like I'm literally seeing like a brick wall in between Nicki and Beyonce. And I think that brick wall is literally like Jay-Z. It's like, oh, it's weird. It's very weird. Okay, and like the way the girl on this card, addiction card, she's kind of just slumped over, like dragging her feet. She's got a heart attached to a chain. Very interesting. Nicki could view her as somebody who could be viewing Beyonce as someone who feels stuck or feels trapped, possibly even, okay? Like there's literally a shackle on that girl's ankle, and she's dragging around a heart on a chain on her ankle. So it's like she could be viewing her as someone who, again, could be very stuck or trapped in a situation. Very interesting. But it's weird. I feel like they get along or have some type of some type of relationship here. Like it's fun. They have a good time together, or they did in the past when they have hung out around one another. But I get this vibe where it's like Nicki could be viewing Beyonce as the type to be like, listen, girl, I can't get too close to you. We can't be too friendly. Like I fuck with you, Nicki, but I can't be too close to you. Very strange. Okay, then you have girl with the snake at the bottom. Empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used. Yeah, enable and boundaries. Interesting. Okay. And you guys, if I pause for a second, please don't mind me. It's because like I'm literally channeling and trying to decipher what it is that I'm getting for it to make sense coherently. Okay. And if I'm not getting something or it's not making sense, then I'm just gonna move on and I'll come back to it later. So I'm gonna hop over to Beyonce really quick with the same deck, and see what her POV is when it comes to Nicki. Okay. How is Beyonce viewing or feeling towards Nicki at this time, Spirit? Thank you. She's doing Nicki at this time. Thank you. What is this? Talking. Okay, it's a girl on a laptop here. It says interested, conversing more, awaited message arrives, text, call, email, and hovering. So this is Beyonce's perspective of Nicki. She could be viewing Nicki as somebody who wants to talk more or be more engaged, or maybe even just work together more. Okay, like she could be viewing Nicki as someone who was waiting to hear from Beyonce. Okay, think of it this way, like, you're talking to somebody, maybe you pull away from them for a little while. You know that this person wants to hear from you. You know that this person is expecting you to call them or text or reach out. That's the vibe I'm getting. It's like Beyonce knows Nicki wants to work together or wants to be closer, maybe the way they were back in the day. Is it giving me, the relationship dynamic was better, and it's kind of gradually fizzled out over time, you know? So Beyonce is acknowledging this here, at least in this, for the sake of this reading. She's acknowledging that she's aware Nicki wants to talk and be closer. Okay? She could be viewing Nicki maybe as someone who could have tried to like help her, or you know what I'm hearing, guys? I'm hearing, you know, when people say like if you're in danger, blink twice, you know, or, you know, give a hand signal, scratch your nose if you're in danger. That's literally what I'm getting. Like Nicki could have been that type of person, like, girl, like if you need help, you need something, blink twice. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Why is this talking energy here? Thank you. How is she doing, Nicki, at this time? The chaser? Oh, wow. Okay. Chaser in codependent relationship. Fear of abandonment issues. So she can be viewing Nicki again as somebody who is the one that's reached out or tried to, I don't want to say reconcile, because I'm not really getting so much there was a falling out. It just kind of seems like, you know, everything was good and dandy and better on a better frequency, and then it's kind of like sizzled out over time, you know. So she could be viewing Nicki as someone who again will or has put the effort, the energy toward Beyonce to try to like get her attention. So I'm literally seeing someone like flagging down a car, like, hey, stop, I need you, you know, like I'm stuck on the side of the road, hey, I need help. Wow, this is very interesting already. I feel almost kind of sad. Like, I feel like Beyonce wants to talk to her too, or, you know, wants to be closer to her than she is. But it's like something here is in the way or like blocking the relationship. It's almost as if Beyonce could feel kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like, you know, like you're my girl, Nicki, but then it's like, this is my man, this is my husband, this is my family. I can't pick sides here. And it will ultimately be Beyonce picking sides if she were to, you know, engage more the way that she wants to with Nicki. It's very interesting. It's almost like, you know, you lost a really good friend of yours that you didn't want to lose, or that you didn't mean to lose, or the relationship was great and things kind of just fell out, but you never really had a problem with each other. Does that make sense? I really hope that makes sense, guys. Okay. I'm going to use another oracle deck really quick. I'm going to hop back over to Nicki real fast with another oracle, and then we'll get back into Beyonce in a minute. Okay. Sure. How is Nicki viewing Beyonce at this time? What is her perspective when it comes to Beyonce at this time, Spirit? Oh, wow. Nightmare. Look at this. Friendship. Okay, you've got 3 people. What did I just say? Like, I was literally seeing like a brick wall in between the Beyonce and Nicki. And you've got this third party energy here in the middle between the 2 of them. Okay, it says team, connection, and network. Wow, but what fell out though, okay, was nightmare and indulgement. I think it's a song by Beyonce. It can be a sweet dream or a beautiful nightmare. That's interesting that this is coming out. Okay, number 75, it says suffering, darkness, and persecution. So she, again, is giving that energy of like, if you need help, blink twice. So Nicki could be viewing Beyonce as somebody who's very stuck or very trapped, or could be, you know, feeling very haunted. This is giving me like demon energy around her. Okay. Then this indulgement card, it's a woman trying to bribe a man with money here. It says persuasion and bribe and temptation. Yeah, so it's almost as if this third party energy, this interference that's in the way, it's almost like they convinced Beyonce, or at least again, guys, in the perspective of Nicki, she feels like somebody, you know, convinced Beyonce or bribed Beyonce, tried to get Beyonce to not mess with Nicki, okay, to get on her bad side. And she feels like it's not really coming from B, it's coming from somewhere else, like someone that's controlling her or something. She can be viewing Beyonce as someone who's got a lot of dark energy, maybe not inside of her, but around her. Very interesting. Okay, and we know Beyonce, she dips and dabbles in the spiritual work. Okay, she's got an interesting mix of like African spirituality and like Satanism. And Beyonce has has alter egos the same way Nicki does, you know. But you've literally heard Beyonce say it from her own mouth, like she's felt something come into her, like physically, like another entity. So I think Nicki is acknowledging that, like there's a lot of dark energy around Beyonce, at least in the perspective of Nicki, okay? She, if you view her as someone who's suffering in silence, is literally what I'm hearing, suffering in silence. You know, Beyonce doesn't say much. She's not the type to get up on the internet and all that stuff. She keeps it very, very under wraps, whatever she's dealing with. And she could view Beyonce as someone who is like being controlled by other people, or in this case, again, the common denominator, Jay-Z, Rock Nation, whatever. Okay, maybe even certain executives are trying to like keep them apart from one another. And again, I can't help but get this energy. It's like it's not something that Beyonce really wanted to do. It's like she had no choice or something. At least Nicki feels that way. Okay. Suffering, darkness, persecution. That nightmare card is heavy. Okay. I'm gonna go back over to Beyonce really quick with the same deck. Okay, then we'll dive into another deck after this. But what is Beyonce's perspective or POV on Nicki at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Idea just flipped over. Okay, the number 41. It says inspiration, suggestion, and vision. Yeah, so Beyonce could view Nicki as the one who, you know, has come up with a lot of different creative, fun ideas or different type of ventures that she may have wanted to work with Beyonce on, but it didn't necessarily really work. She could view Nicki as someone who's very intelligent, very bright, very smart, very creative with this idea card. Okay, what else is this here? How is she viewing Nicki? Sweetheart. Oh, wow. Yeah. And look, you have alliance at the bottom, but it's in the reverse. Alliance is trust, honest, compatibility, but it was in the reverse. So it's like, again, like, I love you, girl. Like, I fuck with you. You know, I rock with you, but we can't be that close. It's very strange. Okay, you have sweetheart here. Okay, it's a couple holding like an ultrasound photo. It says pure, unconditional love and be loved. So yeah, she knows that Nicki is coming from a very genuine place when it comes to wanting to reach out to Beyonce, wanting to help her or get her out of a situation or something like that, okay? Maybe even just like give her some sound advice. I believe these two are around about the same age. Beyonce just had a birthday the other day, but I think they're around the same age group, like 42, 43, around there, okay? So they could understand each other from a different perspective than maybe, you know, Nicki dealing with these younger rap girls in their 20s and whatnot, if that makes sense, you know. But Beyonce definitely views Nicki as someone who's very pure, very genuine, a sweetheart, someone who really cares. Okay, Nicki can be a little bit of a mean girl sometimes, and be very like masculine in her energy. It has a little bit of an ego, but this is like a much more genuine, caring place. At least that Beyonce is viewing Nicki. Like when Nicki reaches out or tries to get Beyonce's attention, Beyonce knows it's coming from a genuine place. But it's almost as if Beyonce can't entertain it as much as she would like to. Like, say for example, you want to go out with your girlfriends, right? But maybe your husband is not the biggest fan of one of your girlfriends. So you've created distance from that girlfriend because you're trying to be respectful of, you know, your husband's desires or what he asks of you. This is just the kind of energy that I'm getting from B at this time. Like, if Jay says he doesn't want you hanging around Nicki too much, she's not going to do it. You know? I get this vibe here that maybe Beyonce could have like congratulated Nicki on her pregnancy or when she gave birth. I don't know if it was public or not. You know how Beyonce will send her, you know, her assistant written notes and the big bouquets of flowers to some of these girls. I feel like she did that personally and sent some to Nicki when she had her baby, possibly, or when she got married, okay? Without it being known to multiple other people. Unless it was posted online or something, I'm not sure. But I definitely feel like, you know, she would rather do those things more on a personal level and not get everybody involved the way she would, you know, sending maybe a Coco Jones or Megan Thee Stallion, you know, flowers and bouquets or whatever. It's a different approach she takes when it comes to Nicki. I really, really hope that makes sense, guys, okay? I'm going to use What's the Tea really quick because this deck gets a little nosy, okay? What's the tea? I'm going to hop back over to Nicki's portion real quick and see what comes out for her. If this is making any sense to you guys, definitely leave a like on the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you know, okay? I love interacting with you guys. If there's something I'm missing or something here that makes sense, definitely feel free to add, okay? Yeah, Beyonce definitely is aware that Nicki is the one that, you know, has wanted to collaborate or work together, or again, just kind of like get back to where they used to be when it comes to being friendly or being close, you know? But let's get into Nicki again really quick. How is Nicki viewing or feeling in regard to Beyonce at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Beyonce at this time. Oops. Dirty offer? Wow. That's crazy. Bad karma at the bottom. Dirty offer. You saw this dark energy, guys. Even the hands on this card, dirty offer, it looks like demon hands or like some type of ghost. Okay, it kind of looks like the nightmare card. If you can see that, like the shadowy ghost-like figures. Wow, very interesting. Dirty offer. Then you have talking shit. Ooh, wow. Nicki could feel like Beyonce possibly allegedly like talks bad about her behind her back. That's the thing though with Nicki, it's like she doesn't really trust anybody, or she has a very, very short leash and a short threshold when it comes to people in the industry. It's like all you need to do is rub her the wrong way one time, even in the slightest, and she will automatically think that you're against her. I've done a couple of readings for her before, and I get this energy of like, if you tell Nicki you're gonna wear green and then you show up wearing purple, you've betrayed her. You're a liar. You're a snake. Does that make sense, guys? So it's like you can't do something even in the slightest bit of different than what you promised, Nicki, is what I'm getting, okay? But this dirty offer and talking shit, I just feel like, you know, she loves her to death, but it's like she doesn't really trust her or something. She could feel like people are getting in Beyonce's ear, telling her bad things about Nicki that aren't really true, to try to keep Beyonce away from her or something. Talking crap. Wow. Why is this here? How she's viewing Beyonce at this time. Is this played out? Wow, okay. You have a guy here looks like he's running track. It says played out. Interesting. Why is this here? When something is played out, it's like you're over with something, or you're just done with it, or this certain type of behavior is just, it's run its course. It's time to stop doing something. Like it's played out now. You know what I mean? Interesting. Why is this here? Queen rising, creeping. Okay, Beyonce could, or Nicki could be viewing Beyonce she could view Beyonce as somebody who has already chosen her side and pledged allegiance to the Rock Nation camp, you know, the entity that is Jay-Z and all of that, okay? Then you have Queen rising here. This gives me Queen of Wands energy. Okay, it says stepping into your power, praised, coming up, and spotlight. Oh, wow. Ooh, with that bad karma card, Nicki could be viewing Beyonce as someone who, you know, who could be kind of be getting knocked off of her throne a little bit here. Like it's played out, like people don't connect with you, or people aren't as interested in you as they used to be. Again, this is not my perspective. I don't feel that way personally. I think Beyonce is always going to be in high demand no matter what she's doing. But in this case with Nicki, she could be viewing Beyonce as somebody who's a little played out. Because if you think about it, guys, even with the whole Cowboy Carter thing that Beyonce's doing, it didn't necessarily resonate well with the general public or her normal core fan base, if you will. And I think this is Nicki acknowledging that, like, Beyonce is doing whatever she can do to please the people in the higher ups, or to get, you know, a particular award. You know what I mean? And it's like Nicki doesn't necessarily like that, or she could think it's kind of played out. Like, you're like, girl, you're selling out and you're doing all this, that, and the third to satisfy fans that aren't even in your range, or that don't really like this stuff. You're giving products to a fan base that doesn't connect with what you're selling. Okay, at least that's how Nicki is viewing it. So she could be viewing her as somebody. When I saw that bad karma card, just based off who she's attached to. Interesting. Yeah, she could view her as somebody who's about to kind of like be kind of knocked off of her high horse a little bit here. Very interesting. And it's not in like a negative, jealous way, or like you don't deserve to have this, Beyonce. It's not that. It's more of like the people you're attached to that make these dirty offers, you know, that talk bad about me and try to like knock me down and keep me at a lower frequency. Beyonce, you being attached to that is just going to bring you to a lower frequency as well. Or you're going to be attached to that man's karma. Okay? And this played out Queen Rising, like you're not going to have the same power that you think or that you do now. I really, really hope that makes sense, guys. Okay? Wow, very interesting. How is Beyonce viewing Nicki at this time? What is her perspective when it comes to Nicki at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Wow. Moves in silence and into you. Wow. Okay, you have this card here, moves in silence. So she could be viewing Nicki as somebody who, you know, really does love and care about her with this into you card. Good chemistry, great vibes, and positive. But it's like they got to keep it hush hush. They got to keep it quiet for some reason. You know, so she could view Nicki as someone who will, under the radar or very quietly, reach out or say something. Again, blink twice if you need help type of energy, okay? Beyonce is acknowledging here that she knows Nicki wants to be a little closer to her, or, you know, they have good vibes, good chemistry. They did that music video for Feeling Myself on Nicki's Pink Print album. I think that maybe came out like 2014. The chemistry was there. Like, it seemed very genuine, very natural between the two of them. But it's like, if they were to try to do something like that now, it wouldn't be the same, is the energy that I'm getting. Let's see. Why is this here? How is she viewing Nicki at this time? Oops. How is she viewing Nicki at this time? I get this vibe. It's like she wishes she could give her a hug or something. Like, she wishes that she could hug Nicki and let her know how much she cares without it being attached to somebody else. Okay. Then you have this spiritual hater card that came out. Hates on your spirituality, light, magic, and power. Ooh, wow. And I was just saying that we know Beyonce be kind of, she'll dip and dabble in the spiritual work, magic, witchcraft, even possibly. Okay, and Nicki is also very spiritual in her own regard. Okay, so Beyonce could feel like Nicki is really jealous of her, or maybe trying to dim her light or something like that. I don't know why. I feel almost kind of confused with this energy almost. Like, I feel like the channel is being blocked or something. What is this? Hustling. This card says making it rain, focused on money, getting to the money. Okay, you know what I'm getting from this, guys? With this spiritual hater, these two women are on totally different frequencies when it comes to the spiritual stuff. Like, Beyonce, she's got some very like dark energy around her. Whereas Nicki, you know, she's got a lot of like stuff to heal in her own right, like her own emotions, her own ego. But at the same time, it's like she's actually been working and trying to get into a better place spiritually, is what I get from her. And it doesn't necessarily mesh with the type of spiritual frequency that Beyonce is on. It's like one is of the light more so, whereas the other is not so much of the light, you guys. I really hope that makes sense. I'm getting this energy. It's like, you know, the light will irritate somebody's demons. It's like you wouldn't view somebody as a spiritual hater or something in that regard if you didn't have like some type of negative energy or a negative aura attached to you. Because if you have two spiritual people that are vibing high in the same room, they'll mesh with no problem. But when you've got one that's of the light, you've got one that's of the dark, you've got two different energetic frequencies trying to coexist in the same space, it doesn't work. It's a lot of friction, you know? So Beyonce could be, in her perspective, it's like, you know, you're not as powerful as me. At least, you know, spiritually, you don't have as much pull as I do in the industry. None of that. Like, and it's giving me again, like, your light irritates my demons. Like, literally. And you have love triangle at the bottom. Again, with that third party energy. Third party, multiple lovers and choices. Okay, and it's literally like 3 people in an office setting, it looks like. This is very interesting. It's almost kind of weird. And I'm really sorry, guys, if like the messages are kind of coming out almost a little sporadic or like it doesn't make sense. But I'm sure it'll tie itself together the further we go. Okay, she definitely sees that Nicki is hustling, doing her thing right now. She's on her second leg of the tour, literally within the same year. So she's been all around the world and then some. Beyonce is acknowledging that. Yeah, it's almost like a weird, like, superiority God complex. Like, Beyonce, just because you're Beyonce doesn't mean that people are, like, secretly jealous of you. At least in this case, Nicki. Like, she is her own powerhouse when it comes to rap. You are your own powerhouse when it comes to the R&B pop stuff. So it's like, just because you're Beyonce doesn't mean that she's jealous of you or wants what you have, like in any regard. Because I don't get this energy from Nicki that she wants anything that Beyonce has, like at all. Okay, like I love you to death, girl, but I'm not jealous of you. I don't want what you have. I don't want none of that. Again, Nicki views Beyonce as someone who's stuck in a situation anyway, trapped in shackles. So it's like, why would she be jealous of that? You know what I mean, guys? Wow, very interesting. I'm going to use the Modern Witch deck, okay? I'm going to hop back over to Nicki real quick and get a couple of cards. Again, guys, when I'm pulling cards, this is her perspective, what she sees or how she's viewing Beyonce at this time, okay? How is Nicki viewing Beyonce at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Queen of Wands. 6 of Swords, okay? Ooh. Let's see. We have the 6 of Swords here, Queen of Wands. Okay, Aries, Leo, Sag, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini here. And then you have this 9 of Pentacles here. Okay. The thing though, the 9 of Pentacles came out in the reverse. And I really don't read reversals, guys. I'm always going to flip it upright. But the fact that it flew out in the reverse, it's like she could be viewing Beyonce as somebody who finds it very hard to move on and let go of what she's so comfortable with or what she's used to. Okay, the 9 of Pentacles is a very singular energy for the most part. Someone who is very, very well off. They're very good at making money, or they've made really good money. They've hustled, they worked hard for it. Now they're kind of just basking in the ambiance of their labor, right? Enjoying the fruits of their labor. And it's not a family unit. It's more of a singular energy. So when it's in the reverse, it's like somebody who may not be, you know, having it all together, or they're not single. Again, that's why I say it's kind of, she's viewing Beyonce as someone who's stuck in a situation, is finding it very hard to be single or be independent and move on from, in this case, her husband, Jay-Z, right? Then this Queen of Wands here, that's someone who is, you know, very beautiful. They're very attractive. You know, again, this could be someone that's like a witch or a warlock as well, guys. Okay, the Queen of Wands with this dirty offer card. Queen of Wands can be very charismatic, have a lot of energy, but with this talking shit and dirty offer card, Queen of Wands can be a bully. Like Queen or King of Wands, when they're not in the right frequency, like a low vibing one, can be mean and nasty. Okay, very impatient, and again, like a bully almost. Okay, It's like she could view her as somebody who has it all, has everything they could ever want in the world, but they're like still not satisfied or still not happy or things are still not good enough. Okay. And again, a difficulty here of walking away and moving on. And remember, guys, I had a card here with the played out Queen Rising. Again, Nicki could view her as somebody who's going to experience some bad karma here. And people are going to feel like Beyonce's a little played out. Okay, people are going to start to like move away from Beyonce or not support her as much. Okay, that's her perspective, at least. Okay, why is this here? And again, it's like Beyonce was created distance here, moved away from Nicki. I don't really know why though. Again, it just seems more of like that type of thing where you didn't want to let go of a certain friend or relationship, but it's just you guys weren't seeing eye to eye, or again, somebody else is kind of interfering in the situation. So it's like you have no choice but to walk away. Okay, why is this here? Very interesting. Why is this here? Queen of Pentacles showed up. Yeah, Three of Swords at the bottom. Someone who's very hurt, very heartbroken. Seven of Swords. Wow. She doesn't really trust her for real. And again, it's not so much because of Beyonce. She doesn't trust her because of the people that Beyonce is attached to. Okay? Eight of Wands and the Four of Swords here. Even this Four of Swords card, the woman looks very stressed out, like she's got the flu or got a really bad stomach ache or cramps or something. Queen of Pentacles here. That's literally, you know, what represents Beyonce in this case, Queen of Pentacles, because she's a Virgo. Eight of Wands, this can talk about travel. Oops, sorry guys. Eight of Wands is like travel, incoming communication, good news, okay? This is like texting, calling, emailing back and forth, but it seems like they were more on that type of accord, more friendly, again, like FaceTiming, exchanging text and calls. That seemed to be more of the energy before. And I'm talking about like years ago, like not current. This is not current. Then you have this Four of Swords here. This is like a cease in communication, if not letting something go or putting a situation to rest. Okay, rest, relax, and recharge. Meditation. Yeah, and Nicki could be viewing Beyonce as somebody who, you know, at one point was very open and very eager, open line of communication, to just stop. It just, I'm hearing cold turkey, where it just stopped. It's not the same at all. Okay, and the Queen of Pentacles can be someone who's very reserved, very patient. They don't really go out of their way to get out of character too much. They can kind of just sit back and chill and let things come to them. Very receptive energy. And it's also like the wife. Usually a Queen of Pentacles is a wife, or if it's a man, a husband. And again, I definitely see something here, at least from Nicki's perspective. Like, it's hard for her to walk away from this comfortable place that Beyonce has always been in. Okay, either that, or she could be viewing her as somebody who wants to walk away from her marriage, but it's just very difficult to. It's very hard to, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna, if I'm not getting something clearly, guys, I'm just gonna move on. I'm gonna keep pulling cards because it's almost as if, like, the channels in my mind are like almost blocked, kind of. It's as if like they could both be almost kind of confused about why they're even in this weird energetic space when they don't have to be. It's very strange. Can we get a couple more for Nicki, please? How she's doing Beyonce at this time. Is this Nine of Cups? Okay, it just kind of came out in the reverse though. I don't read reverse. I'm gonna flip it up right, but Nine of Cups is in the reverse is like someone who's not happy, not satisfied. Like they're not appreciative or not grateful. Okay, so she could be viewing Beyonce as somebody, again, it's like you have everything that anybody could want in life, but you're still not satisfied. Things are still not good enough for you. You know, whatever this situation that Beyonce's in, it's like she doesn't even want to be in it. And it's like Nicki has noticed that, she's seen that, she's very aware of that. Why is this here? Ace of Wands. Okay, Ace of Wands just fell out here. This can talk about a new beginning, a fresh start, starting a new job, a new project, a new hobby. This is also like sexual energy as well. Yeah, it's like I can't help but feel like Nicki may have tried to like really extend an olive branch here or tried to work with her. But it's like Beyonce kind of had to leave it alone or walk away, or she was like instructed not to. Hmm. And again, you know, Ace of Wands here, this can kind of be representative of like sticks and candle magic, smoking. So again, I definitely feel like Nicki's acknowledging that Beyonce could dip and dabble with like candle work, root work, or something like that. Hmm. Nine of Cups can also talk about overindulgence as well. Hmm. It's like, again, it's just giving me an overwhelming energy here of someone who has it all, doesn't need or want or ask for much, or doesn't have to. It's like they're still not satisfied. They're still not happy with where they're at in their life. It's almost very sad. It's very sad, kind of, you know? And she could be viewing Beyonce as someone who does want to like rekindle the friendship or the relationship here. It's like they both want the same things, but it's like they can't. Very weird. Yeah, look at that. 4 cups at the bottom. Ignoring calls, ignoring texts. I'm getting that vibe where it's like, girl, like I just want to be there for you. I'm just checking on you. Like you can't talk to me like that for real. You know? Very strange. It's like Beyonce kind of just left her alone or left her in the dust here for like no real reason. Wow. I'm gonna hop over to Beyonce really quick and get some cards for her. I'm gonna use another deck just in case some of the same cards need to show face again. Okay. How is Beyonce viewing Nicki at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Thank you viewing Nicki at this time. 3 of Cups. And look, it's in the reverse. Like, I'm going to flip it upright, but the 3 of Cups, it's like we can't reconcile. We can't be cool. We can't go out. We can't be friends. Okay, 3 of Cups in the upright is like a reunion or girls' night out, guys' night out, a celebration, having a reason to celebrate or to go out and have a special occasion or something. Or again, reconciling, forgiveness here. But it was in the reverse. So it was like Beyonce could be viewing Nicki as somebody who is like, I can't reconcile with you. We can't be cool like that. Or they've had to, you know, overcome some type of differences here or reconcile like in secret with this moves in silence card. Very strange. 6 of Pentacles and the Star. Look at that. 9 of Cups again at the bottom. Wow. 6 of Pentacles came out in the reverse. So she could be viewing Nicki as somebody who doesn't, you know, give as much energy as she used to into trying to be cool with her or be more friendly with her or help her out. Because 6 of Pentacles is like unearned income or giving assistance or help. Okay, it's literally a man like giving out money to the homeless. Okay, that's equal give and take. That's equal reciprocity, fairness, equality with that 6 of Pentacles, giving back, charity. Then you have the Star card here. Again, another reconciliation card, spiritual healing, a wish fulfillment, celebrity status, like literally being a star. Okay, so again, Beyonce is totally acknowledging the fact that Nicki has tried to extend an olive branch, heal things, get things on the right path, or get things on the right accord, have an equal give and take in exchange here. But, you know, you've got the spiritual hater card, the star card. I can't help but feel like Beyonce really feels like Nicki is almost jealous of her. And that's not the case at all. That's not the case. Or it's like, again, with this star card, spiritual hater, it's like Nicki's light irritates Beyonce's demons or the demons around Beyonce, okay? Like literally. The star card is a very healing energy. Very bright, very vibrant, okay? Healing energy. Let me see. The Chariot and the Four Cups showed up again. Okay, heavy on the Cancer energy here. Four Cups, again, like ignoring something, not answering texts or calls, or apathy, being bored. Okay. She could be, Beyonce in this case, she could be viewing Nicki as somebody who, you know, doesn't care to like mend the relationship any longer the way that she was trying to, the way that she did. Okay, the Chariot card is like moving on and moving forward very successfully, overcoming a lot of obstacles. It's interesting here because I can't help but feel like, Beyonce really like just ignores what's going on with the Four of Cups. That can be an ignorant energy as well. Ignoring something that's right in front of you. It's like Beyonce is not going to speak up in defense of Nicki, like ever, at least not publicly, okay? She may do like very small little sly things behind the scenes to show that she still fucks with her. It's like, girl, like just like a tap on the shoulder, just a reminder, Nicki, I like you, I love you, I fuck with you, but I can't be too loud about it. I can't make it too obvious here. And Beyonce is not going to publicly speak up about what is going on between Nicki and Roc Nation, Nicki and Jay-Z. She's just not. She's going to just sit back and play her part. And she's fully aware that there are obstacles being placed in Nicki's way. Because that's the thing about the Chariot. It's not just, you know, someone who moves forward and comes out on top without getting through certain obstacles. They've bulldozed over a lot. Okay, that Chariot, it's like a very strong, valiant energy. Someone who always wins and comes out on top. But they've had to bulldoze through a lot of obstacles here. It's not easy to get to the Chariot position, if that makes sense, guys. So Beyonce is acknowledging the fact that there are obstacles in the way here, blocking the friendship, the relationship, or Nicki's success here in one way, shape, or form. Or that there have been attempts to try to block her success in one way, shape, or form, okay? Why is this Six of Pentacles here? Four of Wands. Okay, Aries, Leo, Sag. And this is the third reconciliation card. Okay, this can talk about reunions, getting back together, marriages, celebrations, weddings, graduations, family reunions. Okay, that's 11-11 energy. It's interesting because Beyonce could be viewing Nicki as the one who's like happy and satisfied in her marriage, like everything, you know, things may have been, you know, a little rocky or whatever, especially when it comes to the public perception that people put about Nicki and her husband. Beyonce sees past all that, so it's like, I know she's satisfied, I know she's secure, she's stable, she's in a good space with her relationship. It's giving me that energy. It's like, damn, like I wish I could be like that, or I wish I could feel protected, or I wish I could feel like the main person or the number one with my husband, the way Nicki does with hers. Wow, very interesting. That's why I said before, it's like Nicki is not jealous of you, Beyonce, just because you're Beyonce. Like you may have that type of mindset with these younger girls or these girls that look up to you and just worship the ground you walk on, but that's not going to be Nicki. Especially the fact that Nicki knows you're miserable in your relationship, your marriage, your household, like, girl. So it's almost giving the opposite. Like, Beyonce could even view Nicki's relationship or her marriage as like her own wish fulfillment, something that she wants for herself with the Star card. Very interesting. And I definitely see that Beyonce is acknowledging the fact that Nicki has tried to literally give some genuine courteous help or advice with the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, like try to help her or reconcile with her and mend their relationship here. But it's just like it just couldn't happen that way. Let me see. Why is this here? How is she viewing Nicki at this time? Queen of Pentacles. She views Nicki the same way that Nicki views Beyonce. Okay, someone who's very secure. The wife, very established. Okay, someone who kind of just can kick their feet up and sit back. They don't need or want or ask for much. They're beautiful. Okay, and even the way the guy in this Four of Cups is looking, like, I know it's a little hard to see his face, but it's like, man, fuck that. Like, I wish this was me, or like, you don't deserve that. It's like, girl, I'm definitely picking up Beyonce's energy with that. It's like, I don't like to even use that word jealous, because that's kind of a strong word, especially these millionaires, billionaires. They've got all the money in the world, but these people are still humans with real human emotions as well. So I don't want to use that word jealous, but that's kind of what it's giving Beyonce. It's like, you have everything you could have in the whole world, but you're still not happy. And then you're looking over here at Nicki's relationship, how she's like protected and her man is always going to stand by her. She always stands by her man. And she kind of gets like antsy about it, is the energy that I'm getting. Like this Four of Cups, like feeling like that should be me, or I should be in that position. You know, it's not that she feels like Nicki doesn't deserve it. It's just that Beyonce wants the same thing. At least when it comes to like, you know, someone that you can boast about and brag about, and that you love, and that they love you the same. Because Jay-Z out here has been with Beyonce for 20 years and always attached to some other woman. Always. It never fails. We don't get that type of energy when it comes to Nicki and Kenny. You know what I'm saying? Not to say they don't have their own flaws, obviously, like everybody does, but it just seems more genuine with Nicki and Kenny versus Jay-Z and Beyonce. It's not as genuine, and she's acknowledging that here. Okay, let's see. Get one more from Beyonce, please. How's she doing Nicki at this time? Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so that can kind of represent like a slowdown, or things that are moving very slow, very patient. Okay, Hermit card here at the bottom, Virgo. Someone who spends a lot of time in introspection. And again, this is Beyonce acknowledging the fact that Nicki is very spiritually in tune, spiritually inclined, just in different ways than Beyonce is, if you will. Okay. Knight of Pentacles is a very stable, trustworthy energy, okay? They're going to move at their own pace, a little slow, but they're reliable. It's like you ask them for something, they're going to do it. Again, maybe at their own pace, on their own time, but they're going to be sure to do it. If they made a promise, they're going to keep it. Knight of Pentacles can also represent an offer coming in as well. I definitely see that Beyonce is aware that Nicki has tried to, again, extend the olive branch, make an offer here to mend things. Like, girl, we don't have to be enemies, or we don't have to be not talking to one another when you know we really fuck with each other. It's very strange. And again, it's giving me like that third party interference energy as to why these two are not as close as they once were, or as they possibly could be. Okay. And again, with the obstacles being in the way, this Knight of Pentacles can represent like money kind of coming in a little slow, or money slowing down. So again, with that Chariot card, she knows that Nicki has overcome a lot of obstacles. Okay, the hate train era and all of that. I'm hearing responsible. Beyonce is not responsible for that, but she's attached to somebody who is partially responsible for things like that. And I almost get this vibe here where it's like, you know, Beyonce may not really feel bad because it has nothing to do with her. I get this vibe from her where it's like, if it has nothing to do with me, or it's not affecting me and my money, I'm not going to move. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to stay right where I'm at because I'm cool where I am. I'm comfortable. Not happy or satisfied, but I'm comfortable. And I'm not going to stir up the pot just to defend you, Nicki. You know what I'm saying? Or to speak up in defense of you, Nicki. I'm not going to do that. Really unfortunate. It's really sad. And I get it. It's really not her business. It's not her place. The relationship that Nicki may have with Jay-Z and Roc Nation, I get it. But if that's like your friend or somebody that you rock with, someone you fuck with, like, you got to show some type of solidarity at some point. But even behind the scenes, Beyonce gives me like, I'm not gonna say shit. I'm gonna stay quiet. I'm not. Nope. I don't have a dog in that fight whatsoever. You know, it's really kind of sad. I'm gonna hop back over to Nicki really quick and get a couple more cards for her. What is her perspective on Beyonce, or how is she feeling towards Beyonce at this time? Thank you. Ooh, King of Swords. Okay, let's see. King of Swords and then the Ten of Swords. Yeah, everything is fine with this Ten of Swords, what it says on the bottom, but it's not all fine. Okay? King of Swords is a very stoic, emotionally, like, depleted type of person. They're not going to really wear their heart on their sleeve. They're very business minded, very intellectual. You know, someone who's just going to keep it very business and have no emotions involved. And I get that energy with Beyonce. I've done a reading between her and Rihanna, Beyonce and Megan, and Beyonce always comes out the same way, very emotionally stoic, very cold. It's not very warm and inviting. Okay. But I don't think it was like that at first, at least with Nicki. Like at first it was much more warm, more friendly, and then it gradually turned into this cold, stoic energy. We can't talk like that unless it's business, you know, very quick in and out type of energy, you know, like it just sucks because it's like she wants to talk to her, but it's like she can't. It's really weird. Then you have this Ten of Swords. So Nicki could feel a little betrayed or like played by Beyonce. Again, you tell Nicki you're wearing green and you show up wearing purple, it's a wrap. You're a liar. You're a snake. I don't fuck with you. So, you know, I feel like Nicki has, because of who Beyonce is and because they've, you know, been cool for so long, she may have given Beyonce more chances, okay, more opportunities to like mend the relationship and get back together as far as like being friendly. But this Ten of Swords, it's like, girl, like, I'm over it. I'm done. I don't even want to reconcile with you anymore. Like, I'm cool off of that. Okay, she could be viewing Beyonce as somebody who has totally just put the lid on top of their friendship or relationship here because of her attachment and her loyalty to this common denominator, Jay-Z, if you will. Okay, look at that. Queen of Swords, cold as ice, very stoic. Keep it very short and sweet with you. Five of Pentacles, being feeling left out in the cold. Okay. Wow. Let me get one more, please. Chariot. Yep. It's like she's being held back with this Four of Pentacles, being restricted from moving on and moving forward. Literally, okay? This is Nicki's perspective of Beyonce, being held back, being restricted, being stubborn with this Four of Pentacles about moving on and moving forward past certain things here. Okay? And it's crazy too because like there could really be a lot of success when it comes to business, you know, doing a lot of doing music together or certain ventures and like joint projects or something. It's like Nicki has a lot of ideas and stuff that she wants to do with Beyonce, but it's just being blocked right now, and it's like it can't. And I think Nicki is ready to kind of like, or maybe this already happened, she's been ready to kind of like really close the lid on them moving forward. It's like, girl, I'm over it now at this point. You've chosen your side. You've chosen your loyalty. And it's almost kind of like being stuck between a rock and a hard place because, again, it's just like, this is Beyonce. That's your husband. So it's like Beyonce could feel like she can't, you know, show too much love or support to Nicki because her husband doesn't mess with her. It's really unfortunate. It's very sad. I'm going to get a couple more cards for B really quick, and I'll get y'all out of here, okay? Let's see. How is Beyonce viewing Nicki at this time? Thank you. What's this? Okay, the Strength card. Yep, holding back, not being as expressive as they used to be. She could view Nicki as someone who's very strong, has a lot of willpower, a lot of confidence as well. Okay. But the Strength card, that's like holding your tongue, holding back with things that you want to say or that you want to express, okay? It's literally a woman trying to tame the mouth of a lion, and it's like Nicki. She could be viewing Nicki as someone who's not as vocal or as expressive about wanting to extend an olive branch or reconcile or heal things anymore as she once was. Because again, it's like, you poke a bear so many times, it doesn't move, it doesn't budge. You're going to eventually stop poking. You knock at somebody's door 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times. Nobody's answering. You're going to leave and go home eventually because nobody's picking up. You know what I mean? And that's the vibe I get from Nicki. It's like, I tried, but you don't want it, then neither do I then. Let's see, why is this here? 6 of Swords. Yep. Someone who has walked away, doesn't want to deal with it anymore, creating distance here. Okay, you have the 5 of Wands. They could have like gone back and forth and argued, or there was arguments about Beyonce and Nicki. Okay, like being close or being friendly. When it comes to Beyonce and her husband, it's like, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do this. She's going to make our business look bad or whatever, Wow. And then the strength in the six of Swords, it's like she views Nicki as someone who's a lot stronger than her, has a lot more willpower or more confidence than her. Again, Beyonce is very particular, very like meticulous and a perfectionist. So it's like very easy for her to maybe feel like something is not right or something is not going well, even though it could be going great to everybody else. To her, if it's not pristine exactly the way she wants it, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. And she could be viewing Nicki as someone who's a lot more stronger because she can let go and move on from things and still come out the winner on top and not feel defeated, not feel less than about herself. Whereas maybe, the way that Jay-Z treats Beyonce, she could feel a little bit of a lack of confidence sometimes. Or maybe over the years, she struggled with that. You know what I mean? I really hope that makes sense, guys. And she could almost even like admire the strength and confidence that Nicki carries about herself. It's like, damn, like I wish I could be like that when it comes to my own personal, relationships and stuff like that. This is a very interesting dynamic. I wasn't expecting to be like this this confused or this all over the place with this reading. I'm not confused, but it's the energy between them seems very not clear. It seems very clouded. It's like there was no closure or something. Again, I get this vibe with Beyonce. It's kind of like she just close the lid on it and let the relationship fizzle out over time with no explanation or no real reason or no closure here. So to Nicki, that's like, girl, like what happened? What's up? Like, I fuck with you, but you just don't fuck with me now all of a sudden? Like, what's going on? But it really doesn't seem like it has anything to do with Beyonce. It's just Beyonce's gonna just sit back and do what she's told or go where the money is going. And that's it. Like, she's not going to put herself out there or extend herself in another way if it's not benefiting her. Like, simple as that. Or if it goes against what her husband desires, like literally. That's why Nicki could be viewing her as somebody who's stuck. You're trapped. Like, you can't even do what you want to do without this man's approval. It's weird, And they are on 2 totally different frequencies spiritually, when it comes to their love life, all of that. Completely opposite frequencies. But I don't necessarily really see them being like the best of friends. It's not to say that they may not pop out at an event and take a picture together, but when's the last time you really seen that? Beyonce and Nicki in the same room. You get what I mean? Yeah, very strange dynamic here. It just kind of seems like a friendship that fizzled out, that neither one of them wanted to fizzle out. It's just the circumstances and the people that Beyonce is attached to, unfortunately, has led to this, But this was very interesting. I'm going to leave this here and get you guys out of here. If you guys like this reading, this makes sense to you, definitely leave a like on the video, leave a comment, let me know what you know, subscribe. I would love to have you here part of the family. If you have any other suggestions, definitely let me know, okay? But I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.